Welcome back, everybody. It is the Working Brother back at you with another talk. This time we've got Timur Beslangurov. Timur, welcome. How are you doing?
Hi, Stefan. Good. How are you? Thank you
Excellent.
for inviting.
Excellent. Glad to have you here. We met in person a long time ago. Long-time subscribers of the channel will know that and remember. I'll leave a link to our original interview that we did a long time ago in person when I just started being the Working Brother. Timur, you are an immigration lawyer. Do you want to tell people a little bit about yourself before we get into some of the comedy that we have prepared for today?
Yes, Stefan, thanks. Yeah, I'm an immigration lawyer working for 22 years now, helping people with their immigration needs to Russia. Last 3-4 years, we see a lot of requests from mainly people from the West that would like to immigrate to Russia. So that's what we do.
All right. So, everybody who's new here, hi, welcome. This is a comedy show. Nothing we say here has anything to do with reality. And today happens to be the day after the presidential debate in the U.S. Did you watch the debate by any chance, Timur?
I didn't watch the debate itself. I just saw some of the comments or some of the bullet points.
And what's your take? Do you agree with Putin? Do you agree with Putin?
Putin in which sense? That supported Kamala or what?
Yeah.
I think it was how you call it in English. I think it was just kind of joking,
You think it was sarcasm, basically?
Yes. But I don't think we care who wins, honestly.
So you don't think Russia is meddling in the U.S. elections?
No, pretty sure no.
So that's just American propaganda, basically.
Absolutely, yeah.
Last time that we spoke was a very long time ago. It's like now almost 2 years ago. Lots of things have changed in Russia since then. How would you characterize maybe the general mood of everybody there compared to 2 years ago with regards to the special military operation, international people wanting to come there, business opportunities, all kinds of details like that?
Well, I wouldn't probably touch the special military operation. I mean, I think out of the statistics, one can see that in general, Russia supports. Russian people support, because we know what's going on, why we are fighting there for. We know the truth. I'd stop on that, So with regards to general situation in Russia, also the reviews, statistics, and reports show that Russia is doing good, despite all the sanctions, despite the West trying to isolate Russia. I think we are showing economical growth rates higher than Europe and United States. With all the sanctions and with special military operation, we are still, developing with a very high pace, I would say, into current economical times in the world. Business opportunities are definitely here. We see quite a few requests of foreigners that would like to come to Russia and do business, but of course, once everything is over one day, that would be with more opportunities. Why? Because the sanctions do not really affect Russia, they affect how you do business. Because some payments are not being possible. Sanctions from the Western countries are not only aimed at Russia, they're all actually aimed at their own citizens.
They're cutting off their own hand, basically, in order to spite the other person. it's like you said, the sanctions are not affecting Russia at all. Like, basically, if I wanted to do any transaction, I can still do it. I just have to go through Dubai or Turkey or Serbia, instead of going through the old routes. And now with the new SWIFT parallel system that's becoming real with the BRICS finance transfer that's supposedly being set up with Iran and Egypt and so on. What do you have to say about this world that's emerging, that's parallel to the UN, basically, and to this old Western-based system? Is this like a new worldwide Soviet Union?
No, definitely not. Definitely not the new Soviet Union. No, it's just a system that I think Russia actively tries to promote and other countries support, which is based on equal rights and respect of interest of other countries' sovereignty and their economical interests. So this is something which the Western world was not able to offer to such countries. And basically this is, I think, why the BRICS countries and the BRICS organization as itself has, I think right now there are another 30 countries that would like to join BRICS, just because it's based on equality.
I have to break it up with a little bit of a meme because this is a comedy show. I was looking for themed memes to moving to Russia. I even asked my chat to send me some memes because my chat makes memes. But this is if Kamala wins. At least Trump is a president, and then the whole world is nuked. It's the end of the world. So yeah, move to Russia. But on the serious note, from one of my other guests, he had the opinion that all these Americans that are hoping to move to Russia, that's not going to solve the world's problem with what's going on in America. In the sense that, like, even if 2 million or 10 million Americans move to Russia to avoid, the liberalism of the West and the collapse of the West and whatever, that might end in a faster and worse and more extreme collapse of the West. Like, some of them should stay home and fix their house. You know what I'm saying? That was the opinion of one of my other guests. What do you have to say? Like, what is it that you find is motivation for people to come move to Russia and stay there? And how do you contrast that with what I just presented?
Well, again, how do you fix your house? Like, we've been in Russia, we know pretty much everything what's going on in the West.
Time out. There's a joke right there that I have to say. Depends how bad your house is. If it's really bad, then you have to demolish it totally and start new.
Exactly. So like, literally, okay, how do you do? How you change the law? You change the law to say what? Okay, United States is to a certain extent a unique country. Why? Because the states, so California is very different from Florida, and California is very different from Texas, because they have local laws which are very different, and we kind of know all that. But if we look at the country as it is, as a whole, okay, how do you change the laws? You forbid some of the woke agendas. Okay, even if you do that, but there is, I don't know, probably half of the country that kind of subscribes to this agenda, maybe less. And okay, what's going to happen? All of a sudden, because there is a new law, which most probably will not be passed, because half of the country is against it. Even if it's passed, what would be other people do that already through their generation are used to that agenda? What all of a sudden overnight they will change their mindset and their views? I actually don't believe that. So that's why I don't think that there is a possibility to smoothly go back to the track that to traditionalism, let's call it like this. I don't know how that's how that is possible. We just are saying that, listen, okay, there is one country in the world, not only one country, there are other countries in the world where government and people, they don't agree with this agenda, the wokeness, yeah. And if somebody thinks we're fed up with what's going on in the West, we'll be happily welcoming them here. And plus, of course, as you know, you can be against those things that are going on in the West, but the biggest issue is this hate speech, yeah. You're against with what's going on, but then you can go to jail of what you are saying. Like, how do you fight against that? It's just,
you make a comedy show. You make a
Exactly.
comedy show on YouTube, and you just make jokes. Nothing we say here has anything to do with reality. That's why this is still on YouTube. No, seriously speaking though, yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The policing of thought and speech, free speech, has become beyond any measure. Like what's happening in the UK now with the riots and the online and the arrests of, like, you know, people who shared a meme or commented, and they're getting sentences that are longer than violent criminals. And then you hear that some criminals are even being let out of jails to make space for these people. It's like they have all of their priorities wrong. Can you comment maybe on like how foreigners fall into the legal system in Russia as a foreigner? Like if I, as a Serbian, or somebody as an American, came to Russia to like emigrate and or just for this asylum visa, how would, like, which part of Russian law applies to us versus a Russian citizen? Like are we equal in human rights, or are we like second-class citizens like we are in Dubai?
What a comedy show, huh?
Oh, yeah,
What a
comedy show.
Yeah. So again, you made without going too deeply into the legal matters, in order not to make people bored. Let's say that there is this new shared value visa, yeah, which Russian president introduced a bit less than a month ago. Basically, this visa allows foreigners from a specific countries, they would be pretty much all Western countries, to come to Russia and receive 3-year residency without special immigration quota or slot, and without passing the Russian language test. That's actually a revolutionary situation, in a sense that Russian immigration legislation for the last 30 years was not focused on actually bringing people to Russia, especially from the West. So now it's a bit of a very surprised. We were very surprised when we read the actual decree that established this visa. So the person
when you say you were surprised, you mean you and your office, like as lawyers, basically, you were surprised that this step, or you mean you as the people in Russia, generally speaking?
We as lawyers, because I was trying to push this legislation and push the idea that, listen, Russia right now is becoming a country, and became a country where people would like to come and reside. Yeah. For 30 years, Russia was giving away its like brain drain, yeah, and capital drain, and now it's time to reverse the flow. And we have a lot of requests of Westerners that would like to come to Russia, and therefore we were surprised how, in a proper way, liberal would be the decree. Yeah, because no quota slot, and we're speaking about potentially 1 billion people. Yeah, because if you calculate the amount of population in the Western countries, it's about 1 billion people are eligible to do that without quota slot or without Russian language test.
So wait. So you're saying there's 1 billion people who are scared of their liberal democracies?
No.
That's your estimate?
Why I'm saying that we were surprised as lawyers, because any foreign national, citizen of the country which will be on the list, is entitled. And if you calculate the amount of people, it's about 1 billion. Yeah, if you take all the United States, all Europe except for several countries, UK, Australia, New Zealand, you'll get about 1 billion people. So Russia says if you are a passport holder of that country, you can immigrate to Russia.
Is there a list of countries?
It's not officially yet published, but we pretty much understand, yeah.
Is Serbia among them? Can I come?
Serbia is not among them.
Because we're being occupied by Russian liberals now. And full disclosure, Timur speaks Serbian, or at least broken Serbian, right? Tell people a bit about your history.
Yeah. For 5 years, I was learning Serbian in the university, but it was a long time ago. I probably understand, but I don't think I can speak.
It's okay. This is in English only. It's just for the trivia. It was amazing when I met you and you told me that part of your life story that you actually learned Serbian. You've been here as well in Serbia, correct?
Unfortunately, no, not yet. Yeah, I need to come.
Well, we will have to arrange something of the sort. So tell me about this decree. Have you had anybody, how should I say, actually start a procedure based on this decree, or is it still too fresh? And is everything that you're already been doing still in process? And sub question, because you're a lawyer, I'm sure you can handle 3 questions at the same time. The cases that you've already had where you're trying to transfer people to Russia, have you do you think this will make it a lot easier for them to get the foot in the door? And is there any indication whether this will be a transferable visa? Like if somebody comes for an asylum, can they transfer to a permanent residence and or business, etc.?
Yeah, so we received from 19th of August, let's say roughly about 500 requests of people that are interested, to come based on this new decree. With regards to whether it's implements an easier procedure, definitely. It's literally an invitation, because the main 2 barriers that existed before this decree have been shifted. Number one is that you do not need a quota spot. And in 2004, the quota for immigration for the whole Russia was set in the amount of approximately 11,000 people. And it was very hard to get into this quota slot. So now it's 1 billion people, and no quota for this for citizens of these countries. And another important matter that was shifted was the necessity to pass the Russian language test when you apply for this temporary residency permit. So therefore, a person that comes using this particular visa can apply right away and should apply right away for the temporary 3-year residency. And within 3 years, they need to learn Russian so that the next stage, which is permanent residency, and it requires the Russian language test, can be successfully achieved. But the person has 3 years to learn the language. With regards to whether you come on an asylum and apply for that residency, it's it's not a hard question, but I think the way immigration authorities will do that would be that all those people that came before the decree and are already in Russia and came before the decree and they have asylum, any other kind of visa, they could probably benefit from the decree. The others that will be coming after the decree, our advice, strict advice, is to use specifically the visa which is mentioned in the decree, which is this 3-month private visa. It's not advisable to come to Russia using other visa in order to benefit from that new decree.
And considering the volume of people that you already mentioned that you had apply, and then on top of that you say is in the category of eligible people, do you think the Russian state has the ability to process these people effectively and to and assimilate them into society and distribute them effectively throughout? Will there be is there some kind of government aid program to get these people working? Is it do when you apply, do they present some kind of professional history, or like if I'm ex-military, will they like take me to the Spetsnaz to ask me a few questions? You know, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, it's a good question. So again, the numbers that I throw, which is the billion number, we understand, of course, that there are natural filters. The natural filters would be that, let's say, more than half probably population of those countries that are eligible to come to Russia based on this visa will not come. They either hate Russia or they are let's say, following the woke agenda, and they would never come to Russia. What for? That's one natural filter. Natural filter number two is that Russia, unlike some of the Western countries, doesn't provide any financial support to immigrants. Yeah, so you cannot get any government money if you're unemployed, especially immigrant. Forget it. Yeah.
So I can't be like a former jihadi from Syria and have my own Gucci bag and my own like Fendi shorts and get government money from the EU and have an iPhone. No.
No. You
okay,
cannot.
we'll leave those guys for Brussels. That's the natural selection that you're talking about.
That's natural filter.
Yeah.
Yes. Another filter, I think, which will be in place, we don't know yet whether it will work in that way or not, but another filter will be that most probably this new visa will require a personal interview with the Russian consul or a person that works in the Russian consulate, because this new visa doesn't require and doesn't have a preliminary check of the applicant, unlike other visas, and therefore the filter should be there. So the consulate official should speak with the person, understand what is his ideas and what's his goals in Russia, and that would be another filter. Then answering your question, how Russia would be able to manage if many people would come, what would they be doing? I think that also comes through this filter process, because if people are coming and thinking that they would come to Russia, let's say when we advise clients, we frankly say and we ask some uncomfortable probably questions. So we say, if you're coming to Russia and you think, and you're coming specifically to immediately start employment, that's not a good idea. Because if a person doesn't speak Russian, that's problematic, regardless of the experience. Because it's really, will be difficult to find employment without speaking Russian. So we always say it is very much advisable that when you come to Russia, you have savings for probably, 6, 12, 24 months, ideally, for your family, that you can support yourself in Russia before you, find employment, learn the language, etc. Right now, there are no government programs which say, okay, we need this specific type of people. We need doctors, for example, from the point of view of their profession. We'll find them employment. No, that doesn't exist. It basically just says, okay, you're against what's going on in the West. You understand that you don't want to live there. You have enough savings to come to Russia. Welcome. But there is no yet government programs on employment or anything like that. Maybe they will come in the future.
You reminded me of a meme that I have here ready about a topic that I want to start with you. But before that, I just want to cover the regular basis. I just want to remind everybody that this channel is not eligible for monetization, that you can find me on the Patreon, and that you can also buy me a coffee if you like. Thank you to everyone who's bought me a coffee. And now that housekeeping is out of the way, let me find this meme about the world going to collapse of the West. Oh no, this is just what somebody sent in when I asked them to send somebody motivating somebody to move to Russia, basically. But but I can't find the GMO food meme. I'll have to look. Oh, there it is. Poison. That's what I named it. Since I've awakened, all of this looks like poison. And my comment was going to be that GMO is illegal in Russia. Right. That's another reason to move to Russia. That the food there is healthy. It's designed not to kill you, among other things. Do you wanna maybe share with us some of the main reasons, or like the leading reasons that like people who are coming with this asylum seeker fed up of the system of the West visa are sharing with you as reasons that they want to come?
Well, yeah, I think everyone knows those reasons. Basically, it's future for their kids, it's religious beliefs and freedom of speech. It's opportunities. Yeah, many people come and say, we see opportunities here for our families.
Wait. You're saying freedom of speech is a reason that they're coming to Russia, not running from Russia?
Well, I mean, every country has their own regulations, but there has to be some common sense. I think in Russia it kind of more prevails. Yeah, there are certain things you shouldn't say. Yeah, but I mean, every country has that. But there was a comparison. I think somebody in UK was saying that in an interview that guess what? In Russia, 400 people are in jail of what they said, and in UK it's 3,300, something like that. I think.
Did you hear that they outlawed smoking outside, or that the what's his name, Keir Starmer in the UK wants to outlaw smoking outside? He's like by 2027 or something, smoking cigarettes will be illegal even outdoors.
And what about indoors?
Well, indoors in your private residence you can, but like in common residences it will be illegal everywhere, including outside.
What about breathing? The problem that I have, what I have, me personally, with neoliberal values is that you don't understand where the boundaries are.
There are no boundaries. There are no boundaries. As soon as you accept it's like you're dealing with a crazy person or a narcissist. Whatever boundary you accept, they move the boundary a little bit to test how far you'll go. It's like with COVID, basically. And when COVID started and all the masks and all the everything else, every week or every month or every while, they were pushing the boundaries a little bit until Putin started the SMO, and then COVID disappeared.
Yeah.
But no, really, COVID disappeared when Putin started the SMO. This was also sent in by somebody regarding the fact that people are wearing masks again. They're just signaling that they're ready for the fake alien invasion. So do you think there's also going to be a fake alien invasion in Russia?
In Russia?
Yeah.
In Russia, I don't think so, no.
How would you categorize the because you deal with migration, and recently there's been let's say uncomfortable situations in Russia with some migrants, worker migrants of certain ethnicities. We don't have to name them, but from Crocus to everything else that's happened. How would you categorize Russia's approach to dealing with the different categories and or types of migrants and the security issues involved with all of that?
Well, Russia's approach is that, of course, we have a lot of people that are coming to Russia to work because country is huge, construction industry is booming, and not only construction. We have migrants that are working in different industries. In general, immigration as how to properly say it, was all the time within the government pushed either to security block or to economical development block, because it's always trying to balance. We need people in order to sustain our economical growth. Because right now, in accordance with some of the statistics, Russia lacks about 4 to 5 million people to sustain only its economical growth, because anywhere where you point, any company has lack of people. At the same time, you have to ensure government security. Okay, we don't have such a problem as US with regards to illegal immigrants. Yeah, illegal, in my opinion, is somebody that just crosses the border. Yeah, illegally. We don't have that issue, but we do have a lot of people, immigrants, and of course, yeah, such things as you named, they happen, unfortunately. And right now, Russia is, from one point of view, strengthening these laws about the immigrants that are millions in Russia, in order not to create a situation as in some European countries, where basically, like UK, France, where it, I think, is not controlled anymore. Yeah, or even if they try to control it, they cannot do anything.
It's worse than not controlled. It's basically like subsidized and allowed, and you know, basically, I don't even know what to call it. It's like illegal smuggling.
Yeah, so I think Russia's attitude is that we welcome everyone as long as people are coming with good intentions, as long as they are not bringing their own behaviors and laws, as long as they are okay with Russian traditions, habits, mentality, and they are not doing something which is not going along with the socially recognized and acceptable norms. Yeah, Russia doesn't like, what I like about Russia, apart from the fact that I'm Russian and I was born in Russia, Russia doesn't stand fanatics, regardless of who you are, whether you are Islamist fanatic, any type of religious fanatic, even Orthodox fanatics. Yeah, if they're too fanatical, Russia just doesn't stand that. Any type of things.
There was that one famous case, I can't remember, of that guy who thought he was Jesus, alive again in some oblast really, really far away. He had like 27 wives or something, and then the government had a talk with him, I think. Yeah, so you're right.
Yeah, Russia is a country of normality. Yeah, so as our president said, listen, I don't care what people that have other sexual, let's say, ideas do at their home. Like, I don't care. Yeah, but just don't promote it for the kids. So there are certain things which are accepted and acceptable by the society and by laws, and some are not. So we are not Saudi Arabia, when if you are how to say, LGBT, like, they will kill you probably. Yeah, in Russia, no, but just don't be a
school teacher. Don't be a school teacher telling children what to do and write books in foreign languages. Yeah. That's a reference to things that are more, how should I say, in this area of the world. In any case, you sent me this Oka link. This is Oka-agency, was it?
Correct.
Oka-agency.ru. Do you want to tell us what this is and how this is connected to you? What do you is this your new website, basically?
No, it's not my website. Basically, Oka Agency is a government immigration agency which has been launched in one of the regions of Russia, which is Nizhny Novgorod. That's the capital city of the region, Nizhny Novgorod region. Yeah, and basically the idea, and I'm working in this agency as deputy director for the last 3 months. The idea of this agency is to support the immigration to that particular region, and the governor of the region would like that the region becomes, let's say, top destination for Westerners, mainly to come to Russia, to immigrate here, and specifically for that particular region. Because, as you probably know, yeah, in like in some of the countries where immigration of, let's say, experienced people, highly qualified specialists, or talented people is at one level. So in Russia, it still is at the level of the police, because the Ministry of Interior that handles immigration is police, and they're not very kind of client-oriented, let's say. They don't provide the proper service.
Their bad manner leaves something to be desired, basically. I understand what you're saying.
So this agency actually provides a tailored, proper, client-oriented support to foreigners that would like to move to this particular region. And actually, I can say from myself, the amount of administrative support or taking away red tape is just enormous, because actually the region wants you to come here and bring your families, make investment, open business, and literally it's just like amazing the way the support on the government level is provided here. It's unequal to any. Not any region can offer something like that.
Earlier you mentioned that in the U.S., we have different states, or they have different states. In our existence in the U.S., there are different states, and they have very different laws. How is that in Russia? For example, in this oblast or region that you're talking about, first of all, my question is, how far away is that from Moscow? Because everything is measured from Moscow. So let's say by plane or by car, how far away is the capital of this region from Moscow? And the second question is, how do laws change? And if I wanted to go to a more Muslim area like Chechnya, how are the laws different in Chechnya? Not the immigration laws, but the general, on the street laws. Is there, and which laws are subordinate to which? Is it like the oblast laws that have to fall under the regulation of the Russian Federation laws, or is it like some special cases per oblast or autonomous? Can you give us some more of an insight into how some of this legal framework works?
So in Russia, local laws cannot contradict federal laws. Therefore, pretty much any law is federal. The local laws, they just govern local matters. Such laws as immigration or criminal or administrative or any other codes, they are federal. So there is no difference. It's not like in United States, where I was in United States in San Francisco on, I think it was 10 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, something like this, 10 or 11 years ago. So I'm sitting there at the conference, 500 people, immigration lawyers from all over the world, gathered there. And then there is a host which comes on the stage during this dinner and says, today is the historical moment that the Supreme Court of the United States made a decision that now any state can decide whether to approve same-sex marriages. And then, obviously, we're sitting in San Francisco in California. I don't know how long it took them, but probably next week.
Like 4 minutes?
Yeah, something like that. Next week, it was allowed by the state in California. And then in other states, I think it is still not allowed. So the state can make a decision on this type of laws. In Russia, no. In Russia, it's a federal law. It's actually specifically for that purpose. If we speak about marriage, it's actually the family code, which is 800-page document. It's federal. So the local laws, they cannot contradict federal laws. Answering your second question.
That sounds like 500 pages of Russian that every foreigner should get familiar with while they're learning Russian language in the first 3 years.
That's important, for sure. Answering your question, how far is this region from Moscow? It's a 4-hour train. It's about 5 hours by car. Let's say it's 380 kilometers from Moscow to the east.
All right, that's not too far. And what about the kind of industry that's there or stuff like that that's going on? Like, what is it that this region is offering as opposed to, you know, any other region in Russia, like St. Petersburg maybe, or like any other region down in the south, like Crimea?
Well, it's hard to say what exactly. I mean, the difference obviously exists. It's an industrial region, quite industrial, yeah, because there are a lot of companies here that produce stuff. It's not like a region where it's solely agriculture or, let's say, solely some services like touristic. It can provide full range of let's say industries that exist in Russia. Yeah, heavy machinery or construction, agriculture as well. Yeah, so many things. Tourism for sure, because the city is located on two rivers. Two rivers come together in the city. Yeah, Volga and Oka. So the name of the agency is Oka is the river. What's the difference between St. Pete and Crimea or the south of Moscow? Well, like totally different, but in many things same.
All right. Well, one thing you can be sure of is Russian culture, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
How's the weather there now in Moscow, where you are? It's starting to get cold here in Serbia.
I'm in Nizhny Novgorod.
Oh, really? You're in Nizhny Novgorod. I thought you were in Moscow.
No, I work here 3-4 days a week.
And is it the same time zone as Moscow?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So it's still within Moscow time zone. Centralna Russia, yeah. I want to draw attention also to your website, Moving to Russia. We've linked to it before. We will have a link to both websites and Timur's Telegram group down in the description below. You still have that Telegram group, right?
Yeah, I do have. But I've sent you the one for the agency, yeah.
Yeah, but you still have yours as well. Like I'll link both.
Do, yeah.
I'll link both in the description. Excellent. Is there anything else that you would like to maybe touch upon before we call this comedy show?
Well, I like your comedy for sure. The first time I speak on how to say, maybe important topics in a comedy way. So I like the show. Hopefully we didn't offend anyone. Yeah. Actually, didn't cross any red lines.
actually, I have a quote that I didn't put up from Rowan Atkinson, also known as Mr. Bean, and he is a PhD. So he says, comedy should be a means of exposing and ridiculing the follies, foibles, and failings of mankind. And that's what it is for. It should have no taboos. The job of comedy is to offend. There is no offense, then there is probably little true comedy. So I hope some of you were offended because we were trying to be funny.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, Mr. Bean is right, but Charlie Hebdo sometimes.
Well, yeah, no, Charlie Hebdo is no, that's different. That's propaganda. That's not humor. That's social engineering. You know, that's not humor. You know, that's CIA, NATO, Gladio operations. You know, and maybe some other agencies.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, you were saying you were hoping we didn't offend anyone. I'm sure we didn't offend anyone, and the people that we offended probably won't care because they won't be moving to Russia, right?
Yeah. Natural filter.
Natural filter. I like how you put it. As we sign off, I've got one more little meme here, and I will play some music in the background. Everyone who stuck around to the end, thank you. Timur, thank you for stopping by. This was an excellent talk. Here's that meme I promised. Can't have shit in Detroit. It's a little car on bricks. All right, everyone. Have a good one. See you soon.